Hello, colleagues. My name is Claudia Abar, and I am a kindergarten teacher in District 4. I'm also one of your virtual content specialists for kindergarten math. For today's video, we are going to be referring to one of the lessons on Teach Hub. We are going to be looking at Unit 5, Day 7, which is the final day of Week 27. The focus question is, how can we model and write numbers 10 to 20 as number bonds? We are also going to be using high zero cards here. So as we begin, let's go into the implementation guidance for this lesson. And it says, share a copy of slide B to each student on Google Classroom so students may interact with the slide. Share the screen of slide B, and also make sure that you know that some students are not going to be able to go back and forth because of the tablet or laptop situations. And now it says, we're going to ask, how can we represent 10 and 5 in a number bond? Show the number with the counters in the total place of the number bond. Click and drag the counters, and then we're going to make 10 ones a different color than the other ones. We're going to ask the students, and let me show you the slide that we are referring to. We're going to share this with the students in advance, and we're going to ask them to show us how can we represent 10 and 5 in a number bond. We have these counters here that students will be able to manipulate. So let's go ahead and do that. We are going to go ahead and move the counters over to the total place first. And as we do that, we strongly suggest that you count out loud with your students or have them count for you so that we can keep track of the counters that we're putting in, but we also have additional number practice. I know it's a lengthy process, and I know for the purposes of this video, it's important that we show the whole thing. So please bear with us. So I have now 10 yellows, and I'm going to do 5 reds. We want the students to make sure that they tell us, how can we represent this in a number bond? So now we have 15 total counters here. We will then ask the students to drag them over, separate them into 10 ones and 5 ones. We will go over the reasons why we are doing this. We will make sure that we practice the counting with them each time that we move the counters. And then after we complete this project and this part of the, this part of the implementation slide of the launch, we came across a little troubleshooting item that we want to highlight. The number 5 doesn't completely overlap over the high zero cards. So what we want you to do is you're going to right click on the number 5. You're going to go to where it says order, and you are going to click on bring to front. You will then move the number 5 over, and it will show the number 15 for your students. Now we want the children to practice writing the number 15 here. So on this blue card, whenever you see the pencil icon, your students will be able to write them. Now the next couple of slides here are all exploration slides, which your students will do independently, but it will once again require them to write inside of the blue boxes. Every time that you see this icon, that is what you will be doing. Now, in case you require additional practice on how to separate numbers into the number bond, you can always use one of the apps that we have highlighted in the past. For this, I created this little drawing on the Number Frames app. We can go from the total cards, and I can show you how to do this. I will take 5, another 5. Let me go ahead and do blues. And just changing the number. Let me make sure that it fits inside. How can we represent this on number bonds? Now, the only thing that you cannot do on this frame, on this app, you cannot use the high zero card. So your students will actually be gaining additional practice in how to write the numbers. So once they move the counters in here, and again, with additional practice of making sure that they count 10 ones, and then here they will move the 6. The students will then be able to write the number 16. And this just gives them additional practice onto typing into the text box. So we wanted to create it to highlight 2 things. We wanted to highlight that the students will not be able to overlap the numbers until we click on the right click and the number 5 so that they can overlap into the high 0 cards, and also that the blue boxes are made for writing the number in, not for placing the cards into them. We hope that you found this video useful. We'll see you next time.